Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be reading chapter 33 of A History of Murder. I do have a fun announcement, and that is that A Collection of Secrets, which is book 2 in the Jericho Falls Cozy Mysteries, is now available on my Etsy shop, where you can get a paperback copy signed by me, Brooke Peterson, the author. So if you're interested in that, that's available now. And actually, I have some really fun ideas for some new things that are going to be popping up in my Etsy shop. So stay tuned for that. Also, news on the production of the audiobook for A History of Murder that's underway. I received a yes from my first choice narrator, so I'm really happy to say that we're moving in that direction, and I'm going to do my best to get the entire book read and done before that comes out, because once that comes out, then I need to take this down. It'll be an exclusive contract, but until then, let's see how far we can get, and I'm really aiming to get the whole book read to you here, so you can at least have it here first. You guys are the first to hear it, and the only ones in my voice. So let's get going with chapter 33, Tell Him the Truth. I hustled down the library steps with the underground tunnels on my mind. Why hadn't I thought of them before? Well, because they'd been condemned and supposedly empty for almost a decade now. That's why. I couldn't wait to talk to Chief Garner about this and see what he thought. But first, I needed to pick Dr. Dunning's brain about Luke. "Chloe, is that you?" I heard someone say. I turned to see Leonard Dunning coming around the building. He was holding a stack of folders and paperwork, which was an utter mess. "Sorry," he said, trying unsuccessfully to shuffle the papers into a neat pile. "I've come from a meeting." "Yes, Joy told me," I said. "I hope I'm not catching you at a bad time." "Not at all. Are you here for the scholarship application?" There was so much optimism in his voice, I couldn't bear to squash it, but I had to tell him the truth. "No, I'm here doing some research." I pointed towards the library and then looked at him. Now that I knew Grandma Lily was behind the scholarship invitation, it had lost some of its sparkle. "I don't think I'm going to be staying." He gave me a sad look and shook his head. "I'm sorry to hear that. I know your grandmother would love having you back in her life." I swallowed hard. "I'm still deciding," I said, which was a lie. The truth was I intended to leave as soon as I knew Grandma Lily was out of harm's way. But I couldn't stand any more scrutiny today on this topic, not after what Blake had said earlier. "It's not a decision to be taken lightly," Leonard said. I cringed inside at his scolding tone. I brushed his comment away and brought him back to the topic I was here to discuss. "The reason I wanted to talk with you is to ask about a student, to see what you know about him." Leonard looked at me seriously. "Chloe, I can't discuss our students. It's not ethical." "I know," I said, nodding, "and I understand. But this student may be important in finding out who killed Art McMillan and clearing my grandma's name." Leonard stood silently thinking. His face was unreadable. This quiet, intellectual man was not someone to break rules. Would he break one for me? For Grandma Lily? He began walking again slowly, his head down. I followed a few steps behind him. Eventually, he said quietly, "Who are we talking about?" "Luke Langley. His sister, Mariah, manages the Opera House." Leonard continued walking, but became visibly more relaxed. "Sorry, Chloe, I don't know that young man." "It's all right," I sighed. I hadn't realized how much hope I was hanging on Dr. Dunning being able to tell me about Luke. A wave of frustration came over me. It seemed that every lead I followed fizzled out. "Why exactly are you interested in Luke?" asked Leonard. We had reached the steps to the Humanities Building. "He works at the Opera House part-time, so he knew Art. I think he might know something that would help us, even if he doesn't realize it yet." "Why not ask him?" said Dr. Dunning. He shuffled the stack of books and papers in his arms, and I realized he must be growing tired of toting them. I don't know, I said. I'm not sure how. The best research always starts at the source. You don't want second or third-hand information, do you? Go talk to Luke. Simply start a conversation. He made a good point, but I wasn't sure of the logistics. If I found Luke at the Opera House, Mariah would know. She was tired enough of the police hanging about, asking questions. I doubted she'd appreciate me pumping her little brother for information. I could involve Chief Garner, telling my suspicions, but there again, he was tired of me interfering. Finally, I knew there was nothing else to say to the professor except, "Thanks, that's great advice." He smiled at me behind his round glasses. "You're welcome, Chloe." "I better let you get inside," I said, motioning to his armful of materials. "Will we see each other at the Founders' Day ball on Friday?" "You'll be there?" he said quizzically. I rolled my eyes. I promised Bree to stick around long enough for the festivities. "I'm not really a festival or ball type of guy," he said, "and I don't have a date." "I don't have a date either. Why not come? You can tell me more about the scholarship." I felt guilty prickles on the back of my neck using that against him. But I had a strong desire to get as many people there as possible. What better way to see everyone interacting together? And maybe, just maybe, see them show their true colors. Leonard grinned. "I'll think about it." "It's not a decision to be taken lightly," I said with a wink. All right, that was chapter 33. Thanks for joining me again, you guys. I appreciate it, and I hope that I'll see you back next time for chapter 34, and we'll just keep on going, and we'll see if we can get this book done before the big reveal of the professionally done audiobook. Thanks so much. See you soon.